Hello. Hello.
I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational, but that just wouldn't be our style.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
SportsTownChicago.com. Lombard, part of the Be On Air network and available on the TuneIn app.
Hell yeah.
Broadcast home for your Windy City Bulls and the Chicago Dogs. We're in a league of our own. Now, here's your SportsTownChicago.com scoreboard update.
At 4:44, my name is Jonathan Young with your SportsTownChicago.com update, powered by Illinois Media School. If interested in being in a career in media, go to beonair.com. The Bears play Sunday at 12 o'clock in Chicago versus the Panthers. Gervon Dexter, Montez Sweat, and Tevin Jenkins are three of the five listed as questionable for this game. The Bears look to win two in a row. Bears punter Tory Taylor wins NFC Special Teams Award with 5 punts for 277 yards and downed three of those punts inside the 20. His 55.4-yard average registered as the third highest mark in a single game by a Bears punter since 1960. The Bulls signed ex-lottery pick Josh Primo to training camp contract. Primo, the 12th overall pick from the 2021 draft, is expected to join the Team G League affiliated Windy City Bulls to continue rehab on a left ankle injury. This has been your SportsTownChicago.com update brought to you by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com.
You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes.
Now live. Your host, Jonathan Young. Windy City Sports Nation.
Dragons. Somebody grab Dragons there. Do you know who this kid is? He's from Chicago. He has a 40-inch vertical. And you are, where is my poster machine? This is what I need my poster machine. Where's it at? Oh, my goodness.
Are you ready to dominate?
Hurdle Sauerbrunn, 20, 10, 5, touchdown! 75-yard punt return. Devin Hester, you are ridiculous.
Start on the winning side. Your biggest winner coming out of week 4 is who?
The P word to use is positivity. I will go with pandering because you're a Bears fan. Let's go to Chicago, where your Caleb Williams
I'm not going to stop you.
had the best game of his career in the NFL and is starting to look a little bit more like what we saw at USC and before that Oklahoma, Joe. And Caleb Williams has been, if not a breath of fresh air, you certainly take the inhale and feel okay about it. And I think the ball came on time more consistently today. And I feel like each and every week we're talking about the consistency with which he's playing, getting the ball out.
It's getting there. He will be okay. All you Bears fans out there worried. It's last week was a very interesting game on a few notes because we got to see Caleb actually be a game manager and not try to be superhero. I would like to give credit to that last clip to CBS Sports Ryan Wilson. I have a question. After 4 weeks of seeing Caleb, I want you guys to give me a letter grade on Caleb. What do you think he has done so far? I'm gonna give him a solid B. You can reach out to me at JJYoung, Windy City Sports Nation at gmail.com. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna give him a B. You know, I wouldn't say he's an A because he's still unfortunately missing a couple of throws here and there, you know. But I wouldn't give him a C because you've seen growth each week. As a rookie, that's what you ultimately want to see. You want to see the young player getting better week in and week out. And last week, you got to see him start taking his check downs more. Um, Playing more structure, just taking with the more. Caleb looked to that side, noticed what was going on, threw it to him. I mean, his arm is actually throwing the ball right as DJ Moore is turning around to look at him on that play. So it was great timing. It was a 7-yard play to start the game. It's not, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that play, had such an impact, but for him to just take that play and take those 7 yards, it doesn't have to just be a flat. When I say take what the defense gives you, if you have a slant and he's running open and you decide to throw a post instead of that slant, trying to get those extra yards, then, you should have taken what was given to you. So I'm glad to see that Caleb has taken that next step. He degressed in attempts and yards, but he was 17 for 23. He still had 157 yards. He had a touchdown, no turnovers. He did have a fumble, but we were able to get back on it thanks to Taylor. Even though it was his fault, his big butt jumped back down there on the ball and got it. So it was a good, clean game for the most part from Caleb. So I'm gonna give Caleb a B. I'm gonna give him a B for the year, with room for improvement. He hasn't been a complete disappointment, but he hasn't met those expectations yet neither. So solid B. That's probably as best as he's gonna get. The O-line definitely looked a lot better this last game than previous games. Caleb, he didn't have all day to throw, but he had a lot of clean pockets. And during the game, the commentators were saying that given a clean pocket and he's got a chance to sit back there, he's going to find the open man. And he was going, like I said, 17 for 23. So given time, given lanes where he can actually see somebody, not somebody in his face all the time, that O-line definitely did a lot better. They still gave up 3 sacks and had a lot of costly penalties. That's something that this offense should have had fixed in the beginning of the year. It's very disappointing to see that this team was coached great last year, because a great coach team is disciplined, and they were the fewest penalized team last year. And to see them go from that to what they're doing this year is very disappointing. It's hard to start a game when you're always set back, false starts or, illegal formations, things of that nature should not be happening at this point in the season. Week 1, week 2. No. Taylor over Davis was a good one. But Jenkins is on the questionable list, so we might have Nate Days off back out there on the offensive line. Not a good news there for Caleb, but to get up to speed last year. So maybe 8 last year. Only had 3 targets, so he caught all his targets. I think it was just good to see him back out there, and that nagging injury isn't something that continues to nag him. His availability is definitely the most important thing for the Bears on the offensive side, because he gives you that option wide receiver slot who oh man, this poor boy, man, it was like he was running for his life. And in the shot, anytime somebody saw him, away. I definitely did not see that coming. I thought it was going to be Roschon, to the point where I had Isaiah Pacheco in my fantasy league, and because he's hurt, I went out and picked up Roschon Johnson and started him, thinking it was going to be him. But boy, Swift, 93 yards rushing, a touchdown, in 7 receptions for 72 yards with that. You're looking at 165 yards of total offense. That's more than what he had the previous 3 weeks combined. That's a good time for him to turn things around. We definitely needed a game like that from Mr. DeAndre Swift. He had it in him, It I don't know what the difference was, but it's good to see. It's good to see that outcome, because when you can run the ball successfully, play action comes off of that. And with this kind of production, this next game against Carolina, well, if we lose this game to Carolina, I'll be so disappointed. If the Bears lose this game to Carolina, that would be very disappointing. So we're gonna hope that they don't, and keep our fingers crossed, because Swift should have a huge game. Caleb Williams off that play action should have a huge game. I want to see them throw it 60 times, dog. Don't forget 50. I want to see them throw it 60. Shoot, in Chicago. Man, I cannot wait. I don't start work till 4, so I will be watching the start of that game. But Roschon Johnson had 7 carries for 27 yards with a touchdown. And on that touchdown run, it was really good to see. They put Dieter Iceland back there at fullback, big offensive center. He's an offensive lineman. Put him at fullback, because Blasingame is still hurt. They put him at fullback and let him just maul the first person he saw through the hole. And that's just what he did. If you missed the game and you want to see a great block, go watch him make that block and open up the hole for Roschon Johnson. I mean, it was a thing of beauty, and Roschon ran right off his hip, tumbled right into the end zone. So it was nice. I do believe Roschon Johnson is going to be the change of back he's going to be the change of running back from here out. So I don't know what they're going to do with Khalil Herbert, because you can't just have a talent as good as Khalil Herbert just doing special teams. I saw my man doing kickoff coverage. Come on, man. Like, either trade him or use him. I like Roschon. Like I said, I picked him up, but I don't think he's better than Khalil Herbert. I don't think he's better, not yet, at least. Maybe next year he might be, but this is third year in the league, So maybe they're just trying to give him an extended look and see what they actually have in Roschon Johnson. I wish they wouldn't do that on my time. You should do that in training camp, but I understand training camp isn't the same thing as live work. So I'm cool with it. Roschon is a good running back. So I'm not upset at all if we have to go that route and use him over Khalil Herbert. I think Herbert's better, but in Poles we trust. There was a few missed throws where you saw the wide receivers on the sideline getting upset. That's never ever a good sign. Never a good sign. But there's going to be growth. There's going to be growth from them, and we're going to have like a chance to really see what. We're going to have a chance to see what that offense can and what Caleb can really do here coming up. They got these young guys and they're growing offensive linemen, but we have grown men already on this team. On this team, we already have grown men. I'll tell you. In a moment.
This is your home for sports.
Red left.
SportsTownChicago.com.
Take that exit and get to the Southern Cafe, home of the Nasty Biscuit on Roselle Road in Roselle. Get over there and try the chicken fried chicken biscuit made with the Southern Cafe's house-made drop biscuit with buttermilk chicken fried chicken smothered in country gravy, topped with shredded cheddar and crumbled hickory smoked bacon. I always say that when you go to the Southern Cafe, you come out with 2 meals with a heaping amount of food they serve you in every meal. I love to go to a place with outdoor seating. The Southern Cafe has a great outdoor seating area to help social distance, and I get to enjoy my breakfast outdoors. Open 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. to give you plenty of time to grab an amazing breakfast or lunch. Now get your butt over to the Southern Cafe on Roselle Road.
Hello?
It's speed walking day.
Dorothy? You're breaking up.
Did I mention we'd be slowing down when we pass the court where those fine brothers play ball?
I heard that.
Reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Get active, eat right, and maybe even run into Mr. Right. Isn't sisterhood beautiful? For more information, go to everydaychoices.org. Brought to you by the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, the Ad Council, and this station.
Alert! Alert! Be gone, maxed out credit cards, overdue loans, suffocating interest rates, and relentless collection agencies. If your credit rating is making you and others around you cringe, there's only one thing to do, and that's to turn to the professionals at Creative Credit Solutions. Even if your credit is less than perfect, we'll help you get back on track. You can do it, and we can help. Call today or visit creativecreditsolutions.net for your free credit check report.
Blow the whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. Mondays and Fridays from 2 to 3 p.m. as we talk NFL.
The game plan was really sound.
It's a quarterback league. It has been. It still is.
Franchise-defining quarterbacks.
College football.
Will Jim Harbaugh make it through the season as Michigan's head coach?
Some more Big Ten talk.
And here's some things you wouldn't expect.
I would have never expected that.
Get all of that and more on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
And, give them credit for obviously, doing a nice job in the red zone. I think I'll have to go back and look at all of them, but, they heated us up uncharacteristically on a couple. and had to get the ball out a few times.
That's right, buddy. That man was back there. That was Jared Goff, y'all. He was flustered. I'm sorry, Matthew Stafford. He was back there going through it. I would definitely like to thank WWE and the New Day for that first clip going out of break. And I would like to credit Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams for the clip that we just heard. That defense in the red zone was on his butt. They was on that dude, man. They was in the red zone. The Bears have not been giving up a lot of points all year. Excuse me. All year, the Bears defense has not been giving up points at all. They are a very, very stingy bunch. Very stingy bunch. And it's great, man. It's awesome to see a defense that, I mean, they have yet to give up a 20 points. They gave up 17, 13, 16, and 18. That defense is, man, flying. They are it. Okay. The Titans, they didn't have a good offense, but the Texans have a good offense. They held them under 20. Oh, the Colts hit 21 on them, so they did give up the 1 point over 20. The 1 point over 20. But man, like that's huge. 17, 19, 21, 18. When you have a good defense, all of the pressure does not sit on just the offense. And that is probably the biggest security blanket right now for Justin, is that he doesn't have to feel like he has to do everything by himself. And he doesn't, because he has a great defense behind him. I got a question for you guys. Can this D be a top 5 defense at the end of the year? They look really good right now, but it's 4 weeks, you guys. So even though they have looked really, really good, you cannot judge the season on 4 weeks. So do you guys think they'll be able to hold where they are right now? Will they get better? Is there a chance for improvement? Are they going to regress? What do you guys think? I think they're going to stay about the same spot. I think they're going to, they might hit 5, 4 or 5, but reach out to me, JJ Young, Windy City Sports Nation @gmail.com. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen with this defense. They got dogs everywhere. And when you have a defense built the way that they are, it's fast, it's athletic, it's attacking. Man, Kyle Brisker that dude is a monster. That dude is a freak of nature, man. Fast, athletic, strong, fearless. Kyle Brisker had an interception and a sack in this game. He was coming after poor Matthew Stafford. Poor Stafford probably C9 still running around in his head today. This defense has special everywhere you look. From their linebackers who ran a stunt. I saw in the game they ran a stunt, and literally all they did was Edwards pushed one guy into the other guy, and Edmonds was able to loop back around him on the stunt and come free and get the sack. That's the type of unselfish plays that make a difference. Edwards didn't do anything but make it to where his teammate could get the success. Not him. He didn't care. He didn't care if he was the one that got the sack. He didn't care. That's what winning teams do for each other. They want to win. You have to establish a winning culture first. And hopefully this week with the Panthers coming to town, that starts, because this could be 2 in a row. 3 out of your first 5. That's not bad. That's something you can build on. So D-line, 3 sacks in that game. 16 sacks already this year. I remember at the beginning of the year, sacks and pressure was the biggest concern on this defense. And man, because of that pressure, the secondary, they look phenomenal. Because of that pressure, because of those sacks. It's not just because of that. It's because we got dogs in the secondary too, but it's also because of that pressure. So when you put those two things together, you're setting yourself up to succeed. So good job. Shout out to Ryan Poles for handling this the correct way, in my opinion, not jumping the gun and going out and trading for a top-notch D end, what everybody wanted. Thank you for not doing that, and waiting to see how this team defensively stacked. Now, like I said, it's still early. He still might pull the trigger on the D end. I hope he doesn't, but he still might. Because we're only 4 weeks in. And there's still 13 games left. 13. That's a lot of football still. So it'll be interesting to see how this defense finishes. Gervon Dexter has been a monster up front. 3 sacks in 4 games. It's steady. Every game you're going to see him with a high motor, effort, speed, strength. Like, you know what you're going to get from Gervon Dexter. And if we just had another big body next to him at DT, I like Nichols. I like Nichols, but man, he's just not athletic. He is not athletic enough for me, but he's just big and fat, Joe. So I would like to see an upgrade, at that DT spot. But at the same time, if it's working, why fix it? Or if it's not broken, why fix it? And that D line right now with them 16 sacks through 4 games, it's saying it's working. That means you're averaging about 4 sacks a game. Last year, if we had 4 sacks in the game, Montez Sweat had 3. So it is nice to see the amount of sacks that they're getting, the amount of pressure that they're getting. And it's not even off of blitz. Like, they're not blitzing they're not blitzing more than they normally do. So if they're not blitzing more and they're generating more pressure, that means it's the players that you added. It's Taylor or Terrell. It's Gervon Dexter losing weight and getting more in shape. It's adding an Austin Booker to push and make other people better so that he don't get on the field. Like Austin, he is trying to get on the field. But that's how good this D-line is now. I remember, boy, I couldn't wait to see Austin Booker start because he had the world in his hand. He could be as good as he wanted to be, and he still can. But now he gotta wait. He gotta wait. You go slowly be brought along. And he is, but anytime that man is on the field, he flashes. Austin Booker is going to be a stud for the Bears. He is. And again, it's only 4 games in. I'm not saying he's going to be a defensive player of the year. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not even saying he's going to be an all-pro. He can make a Pro Bowl. He can make a Pro Bowl. I do believe that. A lot of good talent on that D line in the secondary. Like I said, with four picks through the season, are definitely taking advantage of that D line up front. Tory Taylor wins NFC Player of the Week. He had 5 punts along with 66. And I was really hard on Tory last week. I was, because I wanted to see the Bears get better in other areas than a punter. But I'm a man, and I can admit when I'm wrong. Tory Taylor kicked his butt off last week. And if you can change the field from your 30 to the other opposing team's 30, 20-yard line, that is a huge thing. So I'll admit I was wrong, Mr. Taylor. And 3 of those punts inside the 10. So good job. I'm glad you're a Chicago Bear. Hey, in polls we trust. If polls say we need a punter, then we're going to get us a punter. You might not agree with it, might not like it, but that's why he the GM and I'm not. Bears were being linked to some trades for Keenan Allen, and I'd hate to see him go. I really would hate to see him go. But not all trades can happen. Not all trades can go through. Not all of them. But I know one trade I wish would. We'll discuss this player and more.
Back to your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com. Scoreboard update.
At 5:17, I'm Jonathan Young with your SportsTownChicago.com update, powered by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com. Bears punter Tory Taylor wins NFC Special Team Award with 5 punts for 277 yards and downed 3 times in the 20. His 55.4 yard average registered as the 3rd highest mark in a single game by a Bears punter since 1960. The Bears play on Sunday at 12 in Chicago versus the Panthers. Gervon Dexter, Montez Sweat, and Tevin Jenkins are 3 of the 5 listed as questionable for the game. Bears look to win 2 in a row. Bulls sign ex-lottery pick Josh Primo to a training camp contract. Primo, the 12th overall pick from the 2021 draft, is expected to join the team. G League affiliate Windy City Bulls to continue rehab on his left ankle injury. This has been your SportsTownChicago.com update, brought to you by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com, bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
Maybe that was money. Tell me that wasn't money.
Yo, check us out. We are the go-to guys. I'm your boy Space.
I'm your boy MC.
Check us out every Thursday
from 4 to 5 p.m.
We spitting all facts, all sports, all day.
Yes, sir. Who else you going to go to in the clutch?
Lillard, long-range three, and it's good!
Keeping you up to date with all the latest sports news.
We are
the go-to guys.
Where else you going to get all your sports news from?
You know.
SportsTownChicago.com.
St. Patrick's Day, the only day of the year that it's okay to not boo the Boston Celtics.
I will show you mercy.
SportsTownChicago.com.
Vladdy's a great hitter.
Well, Buck, I think he's going to put the jacket on. I guess he got in the gym. Holy smokes, did he hit that one?
Man, I want Vlad in Chicago. I want Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in a Chicago Cubs uniform. I mean, I guess it would be okay if he went to the Sox too. I'm a diehard Chicago fan, so either one. But man, if he could get his butt and join the Chicago Cubs with the roster that they got, man, I think that's like a dream. Like it's too good to happen. Like it's too perfect. It's almost too perfect if we could get him. It would really be nice. Vlad is 25 years old. Last year he batted .323 with 98 runs, 103 RBIs, and 30 home runs. The Cubs were on the outside looking in this year for the playoffs, but they weren't far off. You know, they weren't 10 games behind from making the playoffs, you know. So can the Cubs make the playoffs next year? What do y'all think? Let me know. Reach out to me. JJ Young, Windy City Sports Nation at gmail.com. Reach out to me. Let me know. Can the Cubs improve those few games and get into the postseason next year? There's room for improvement. Dansby Swanson and Dansby Swanson and what was their second fielder? Up the middle. They can improve up the middle. And when you have like, I like the defense. You know, I like the defense, you know. Nico Horner. Why was I drawing a blank on his name? But they have the defense up the middle. But that offense this year was terrible from both of them. Nico had some steals, and they did run the base pads, but you gotta hit the ball better. You gotta have more contact. And Gleyber Torres, who's still only 28, Cubs had him. Cubs had him and traded him to the Yankees, and the Cubs got back Aroldis Chapman, and Aroldis Chapman helped us win the championship. So I'm not saying it was a bad trade, but Gleyber Torres is nice. He is nice, and I would love to see him come back to Chicago. Let him go in the middle. You know, Dansby Swanson, you've been great these last 2 years, and you and Cody put a lot of pressure on your backs, being the veterans. You know, appreciate your help, but you got to go. You got to go, Dansby Swanson, and Gleyber Torres would be such a huge upgrade. And I hate to say it, but you know, Cody Bellinger, you know, if he wants to leave, if he wants to leave, Vlad would easily step into his spot. Easily. In the clubhouse, on the field. Man, it would be so nice. Gleyber, Vlad, and this young team. It's only adding a couple pieces, but the whole dynamic of this team would change with just those two additions. The whole dynamic of this team. I mean, it's not like you don't have young talent. They have young guys. Shadi Manga is young, and he was an all-star last year. Like, Shadi Manga is good. You know, he's 31. Oh, wow. He's kind of old, but not for pitchers. I mean, he was pitching in, I believe it was Japan or overseas for a while, and then came to the Cubs. But, I mean, man, he has been lights out. Isaac Paredes. Now, Paredes, it is known that we did just trade for him, and he is only 25. But I would lock that man up right now. Give him a contract extension, please. Pete Crow Armstrong, that's another young, talented player coming up. 22 years old. He has so much talent in him. So they have young guys, and they have the pieces in the farm system to where if they wanted to go out and get whatever piece they felt could get them over the hump, example, Vlad or Gleyber Torres, you know, they have the farm system and the pieces in the farm system to make both of those trades happen if they wanted to. Now, I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but if they wanted to, they could. They could. And that lineup, man, oh, man. Ian Happ, Armstrong, Paredes, Suzuki, and then you add in Gleyber Torres and Vlad. Oh my gosh. And we didn't even discuss the pitching yet. They got some young pitching too. Jordan Wicks, Steele, Justin Steele. Like, man, these are guys that are on the cusp of really making a name for themselves, for really standing out and being like, hey, look at me. Hey, look at me now. Hey, that it seems like that's where both of those pitchers are. Justin Steele's 29, so he is a little bit up there in age, but for pitchers, you can pitch till 35, 36. Maddox pitched until 40-something, you know. Now, he didn't rely on his arm talent necessarily. Maddox was more of a brain pitcher, but it's possible. That's basically all I'm saying. 29 as a pitcher is not old. So they still got some years left in some of these guys, man. And we got the right coach. Everybody's saying we got the right coach with Craig Counsell, manager. We got the right manager with Craig Counsell. So if we got the right manager with Craig Counsell, now's the time for the front office to go out there and spend some money. Everybody says Chicago's cheap. They need to go ahead and spend some money. And let's get this thing going. Let's get back to where we were going to the playoffs, 3-4 years in a row. I just want to see a win. And I do think that the Cubs aren't far from being a playoff team on the regular again. Younger and more athletic, should be high on their list. A Bull player was just called the most athletic player on the Bulls team. The most athletic player actually on the Bulls team. And it's not anybody you guys think it is.
Longtime fans, sports is like life. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Hey, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A Major League first baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champ.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
The Chicago Dogs are back on SportsTownChicago.com. Tune in to the season opener against the Sioux City Explorers Friday, May 28th at Impact Field in Rosemont. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. Hear all the action right here on SportsTownChicago.com.
This is what I wanted. I wanted to be here. I just can't. Thank you to the Bulls organization. I'm ready to work, man. I was born for this. I don't gotta say nothing. I thanked everybody who doubted me. Thank you to everyone that doubted me, because I wouldn't be here without y'all. I use it as fuel, and everybody that supported me, I can't thank you enough. The support cast has been insane.
I am on the full train of the Mateus Buzelis. I'm on the train, and I am riding with him. So anybody that has been listening to the show, you guys know I believe that Mateus Buzelis is going to be a stud. I do believe he is going to be a very good player for the Bulls. But I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that believes that. I would like to credit Chicago Bulls and Mateus Buzelis for that last clip. But he is bigger than life, and he can be so good. I don't know how good, but he can be so good to where even his teammates, 2 practices in, are saying that he is the most athletic player on the Bulls. Now that's pretty shocking. Is he really the most athletic? I don't think he's more athletic than the guy who is saying he's the most athletic guy. Ayo Dosunmu. I would like to get a question out. Who will win MVP or Rookie of the Year this year? I think it's going to be Buzelis. Let me know who you think going to win Rookie of the Year this year. Reach out to me, JJ Young, Windy City Sports Nation at gmail.com. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know who you think, if the young Buzelis will win or if it'll be some other rookie from the field. My bet is on Buzelis. He even said he think he can do it. It is funny because the last time I heard someone in Chicago say they think they can do something, it was Mr. Derrick Rose when he said, "Why not me? Why can't I be MVP?" When he said that year, I was like, this dude, man, he's so young. Why is he talking like this? And what did he do? He went out there and won MVP. So I'm not going to doubt Mr. Buzelis. If he says he wants to win Rookie of the Year, go do it. Go do it. Show us. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Show us what you can do. And I think he will. I think Ayo Dosunmu is more athletic than Buzelis. But I'm not out there on the court with Mr. Buzelis the last 2 games or last 2 practices. That was Ayo Dosunmu. And when you have Kobe White, Lonzo Ball, even Josh Giddey, Chris Duarte. See, I thought it would have been Zach. I think Zach is still, even with all of his injuries, still the most athletic player on the team. I still think he is, even with his injuries, But Ayo came out and he said after 2 practices, what about Julian Phillips or Dalen Terry? Jalen Smith. I don't know, but it's good to hear. It's good to hear that his team is putting him on such a high pedestal. I feel like it's because of his work ethic and what they've seen from the young man so far. And that's huge when your teammates are sitting there rooting and pulling for you as hard as that, because Ayo only practiced with that guy twice. That's it. They weren't on the summer league together. Ayo wasn't on the summer league. So they only practiced together twice. But after that second practice, for him to go and say, hey, this is the most athletic player on the Bulls. I mean, that speaks volumes. And like I said, I give the eye test because that's all I can do. I see what I see on the court. That's it. I'm not out there with them. So maybe Ayo sees something that nobody else sees, you know, or I shouldn't say nobody else, that not the majority of the people see, you know, because I still think it's Zach. I still think it's Zach. You know, they just signed Mr. Joshua Primo. It's nice to see that they're not being content. Okay, Joshua Primo is not a needle mover. When he came out of college, there was a chance. There was a chance. He got drafted 12th overall, and man, 6'4". So he's tall. He's a tall guard. I'm glad they signed him. Like them signing Joshua Primo, them signing Kenny Lofton, them signing Talen Horton Tucker. These signings, all that does is, I'm telling you, it pushes the back end of that bench. Y'all cannot just skate past, man. Dalen Terry, if you trying to skate past, Joshua Primo is going to take your spot. Julian Phillips, if you not developing yet, Joshua Primo is going to take your spot. He young, he hungry, he got to change the scenery. You know what that's going to do? That's going to make Julian Phillips and Dalen Terry try harder. Some players, maybe that's just what you need. You need somebody to push you to be better. Michael Jordan pushed the Bulls basketball team to the brink. Like, he pushed them like no one else has pushed anybody else. His teammates hated him, but he made them all better. Ask them. Ask any Bulls player if they would have achieved their level of success. That I'm not talking about as a team. I'm talking about personally. From Scottie Pippen to B.J. Armstrong, Bill Cartwright, Stacey King, Horace Grant. Ask Orlando what they think about Horace Grant. Ask Charlotte what they thought about B.J. Armstrong. When you got somebody pushing you to be great, it makes you want to be great. And like I said, sometimes that's what you need. You know? Sometimes you just need someone above you to make you be better. And Joshua Primo, he's not gonna be an all-star no time soon. But neither is Dalen Terry, neither is Julian Phillips, you know. But Torrey Craig could teach Joshua Primo how to be a professional, what he has to do to be a professional. Maybe he wasn't getting that his other 3 years that he was in the league. And maybe that's all he needed. I don't think Primo's going to be the savior of the Bulls. I just like the fact that we're being active and trying to make the whole team competitive, because that's how you get better. So it's great. I was happy they signed him. It'll be an interesting season. I want to see if he does, or how long he does stay on the team. if he'll make the Bulls team or if they're going to keep him in their G League. Because, man, coming out of college, man, I remember him, man. Like, he had some hype behind him. So, like I said, maybe just the change of scenery really helps him, you know. But Patrick Williams, he said that he will be ready for the start of the season. Lonzo Ball will be ready for the start of the season. This Bulls team is finally looking like they're going to be healthy for the start of the season. I cannot remember a year where the start of the season they were healthy. They always hurt. They always hurt. Soft like Charmin. But it'll be interesting to see if they can stay healthy, like I said, throughout this whole year. If they can, who knows what happens? If they can't, it's going to be a long season for Bulls fans. A long season. Vooch has a mentoring role on this team now, Mr. Vucevic, sorry, Nikolai. He needs to help out Mr. Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith has yet to get any serious minutes, which is why his stats are a little bit misleading. But with time, Vooch, you could mentor him. He does play a lot like Vooch. He's a big body that can shoot. He's way more athletic than Vooch, though. Can run up and down the court a lot better than Vooch, too. You know, so I'm really interested. Zach LaVine, he say he is not going to hinder the young guys at all. What does that mean? Does that mean that you're willing to come off the bench? I don't believe that. I don't know. We'll see what you mean, Zach LaVine. This is going to be an interesting year for the Chicago Bulls, and preseason does start Tuesday, October 8th. I cannot wait. So next week on the show, we will have a full rundown on how that preseason game went. It is just preseason, but you know, you got to start somewhere. So Mr. Bruzelis will talk about how his first preseason game was and if Zach LaVine came off the bench, I guess. We'll discuss this. And as always, the Bears. Can't wait to discuss the Bears with you guys. We'll discuss this and more, you guys, next week. You guys have yourselves a great weekend.
This is your home for sports.
This is the best fans in the world.
No better team. SportsTownChicago.com.
Are you ready for this? Valley View Automotive has all of the hottest SUVs you've been looking for. Enjoy a test drive and the opportunity to drive one of these powerful vehicles off the lot for half the price. Yes, half the price. Now's the time to get yourself to Valley View by car, on foot, or even by air to take advantage of this outrageous sale. You better get here quickly, because this promotion is only going on for 24 hours, and the automobiles are leaving the lot faster than you can say four-wheel drive. Valley View Automotive, a dealership you can depend on.